friends, I'm back with another FIMO Leather Effect clay video. So excited that they sent me these clays to work with. And one of the very first things that came to mind is Christmas ornaments. And that is what I'm sharing with you here today. So there's so many cool things about this product. One of them being you can stitch it once it's baked. Yes, that's totally true. It remains flexible, it's stitchable, so much fun. So this is the product. It's a leather effect, and essentially what you're going to do is treat it like you would clay. You're going to roll it out, you're going to shape it, you're going to bake it, but then you're going to notice the cool effect that it has. You're also going to be able to, if rolled thin, you're going to be able to stitch it, cut it, play with it a little more once baked, which is really appealing to me as a crafter. So the first step, of course, is to roll it out, and I'm using kind of the turquoise color and then some white to make a blue star. Now my inspiration here is Christmas cookies and combined with Christmas ornaments. I just love, love, love how this is going to turn out, and there's so many variations that you can do. And you're just going to kind of fold it and roll it. There's not a wrong way here. You're just going to keep working it until you're happy with the result. Now, sometimes when I first get it going here and it's a little thick, it's a little, it takes a moment there to start rolling out. But once you get it rolling, honestly, it's so easy to work with. And as I'm showing you here, you can start to see the white kind of speckle through, and it's a really neat effect. I really like blending two or more colors of the clay together. I think it really just becomes so dynamic and beautiful, and honestly very, very unique. Now you're going to notice that the two sides are going to be different looking. Okay, they're not necessarily going to be the same, especially if you've been blending colors. So you're going to pick the side you want, and then I almost equate it to like I have pizza dough or something, but very gently. I'm very gently stretching out the clay. And the reason is when you're working with it and you can see it in person, you'll really be able to see that it kind of activates that leather effect. It kind of adds some little pockets and stretchy marks and stuff that makes it really super leathery. And I like to do this before I bake, well, obviously before you bake it, but also before you cut it. I'm just using a cookie cutter. You can use lots of different things. You could also bake it first. Once you have your shape or shapes cut, I like to peel it away while the cookie cutter's still on there, and then you just put it, I'm working on parchment paper, so this whole thing goes straight into the oven, 265 for 30 minutes. When you're done, you see here, you see how that leather effect, you see how that looks, and you see that it's out of the oven, but it's pliable, it's flexible. It's also going to be able to be stitched. We can use stitches, you can punch holes into it, you can cut it, you can do all kinds of fun stuff with it after it's baked, which as a crafter is just super appealing because it means that there's kind of different stages of creativity that I can work with here. And there's different things that I can do, which is super appealing because I'm not limited at all. I can do all kinds of fun stuff. I could glue this onto something. I have so many options. Personally, though, I'm going for the stitching. So the first thing I do is I decide I want this little charm at the top, and I decide kind of what my general pattern concept is going to be. And we're going to do that first because we want to make sure that we have a clear vision. And the vision can change, but we want to have a clear vision. I'm using embroidery floss, tying a little knot in the end just to make sure that my thread doesn't go through. And once I've done that, I can get started, and I could work with as many colors of thread that I would like. I can do anything from simple running stitch, like what I'm going to do here, back stitch, French knot, I mean, you name it, you can do it stitch-wise on this, and it's really easy. It wasn't at all a struggle or a fight to get the needle to pull back and forth through. You just want to be careful, especially when your thread is on the longer side, that you don't tangle your own thread. As long as you're not tangling up your thread, you're good to go. And I like embroidery thread because I want it to have some heft to it, right? I want it to be more than just a tiny single strand. So that's a couple of little strands of embroidery thread. And then now you can see, now I'm going through with the dark blue and doing a back stitch. So it's just a full line. And then I'll just go through and do a little teeny tiny running stitch. So I'm just doing lots of different stitches and building out this ornament. Now the back side's not going to be pretty, but here's the thing. You can use some glue and you can seal up the back side, or you can just ignore it. You can let it be. You could cover it with paper. I mean, you can cover it in the back side of your stitching a lot of different ways. You'll just want to kind of think about that as far as what works for you. The stitching and the thread, honestly, it's not very thick. As long as you don't tie a giant knot, which you have no reason to do, you're going to be able to work with that just fine. Once I've got all my stitches on, I'm going to work in, and I flung it a little bit there, but I'm going to work on a button in the center. And this particular button, it goes through the back end of it. So there's no holes on the top, which I found appealing for this design. And then I'm going to put on sequins and beads. I'm just going to stitch them on like I would as if I was on felt or fabric. This was really easy material to work with, this clay. It really, not only is it absolutely beautiful and kind of a more matte finish, but it's super easy to get the sequins on there. And I noted that the couple of times I started to punch a hole in the wrong spot, I was concerned, would that leave holes? Would that leave marks? No, it did not. It 100% worked really beautifully and was very forgiving. And I really like products and surfaces that are forgiving to work with. I see so many options here. I mean, I'm making ornaments to use as gift tags and gift to people. I could see making elements for my scrapbook page or using one of these ornaments on a card. There are so many crafty possibilities here. It just depends on, number one, how much time do you want to spend? And number two, what are you inspired to make? What would you like to create today? Because, this blue ornament took the most time, and it was totally worth it. I had so much fun with this. And I'm just kind of stitching around here and getting that adhered to top my ornament. Then, of course, you'd also want to have some thread at the top so that you have a little hanger. Other than that, oh my goodness, you guys, this is a really fun product, and there's a lot of different ways I can see using it. I hope they come out with even more colors, because I want more colors. I want to do more with this, and I want to create Valentines with it. So many fun things and so many fun directions that we could take this. If you have any questions, if you have any requests for future videos, if there's anything at all that you would like to see or talk to me about, I always welcome you to contact me. And there I'm showing you how we can glue on the white backing or any color backing whatsoever. Have a wonderful and crafty day, my friends.